Thank you for staying with us on Sunday Live. Women from East Africa, including People's Liberation Party leader Martha Karua, have written an open letter to Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni and his son, General Muhoozi, the chief of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, condemning the sexual victimization of women in connection with the January 15th presidential election. They have also called on First Lady Janet Museveni to speak out against the humiliation and abuse of women by security forces under the command of her husband and son. The African Union and the East African Community, which President William Ruto chairs, have also been called upon to speak out against these human rights violations, with the United Nations called upon to dispatch a fact-finding mission to Uganda.
Please come, let's all be together.
Women drawn from the East African community, standing in solidarity with what they described as global advocates for human dignity, gathered in Nairobi on Sunday to sound the alarm on the sexual victimization of women, ironically, by the Uganda People's Defense Forces under the command of President Yoweri Museveni and his son, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba.
This is no longer a domestic matter. The scale of these violations demands immediate intervention from you as head of state and commander-in-chief of the Ugandan People's Defense Forces, and therefore the boss of the chief of defense forces, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, as well as his father.
You people, what do you want in our compound?
The women detailing at least 9 instances where women either critical of Museveni's regime or involved with the opposition or related to opposition figures have been targeted, abused, and in some instances disappeared.
Dozens of security personnel, many visibly intoxicated, forcibly breached the residence of Robert Kyagulanyi, President Museveni's main challenger, in the January presidential elections. 4 military men perpetrated a heinous act of sexual violence by ripping off Barbara's clothing, leaving her exposed to over 50 jeering men.
These atrocities are embodied by public conduct of the Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. Is consistent online pattern of disregarding women, using derogatory terms like nyashless to body shame and mock women, sets a dangerous precedent without shame. When the commander of the defense forces, that's the CDF, publicly disgraces women, it provides a green light for forces under his command to treat women in similar contempt.
The women of Jumuiya have therefore called for the respect of human rights by Ugandan authorities and for the international community to uphold its obligations.
And other opposition figures were arrested, placed in custody. They consisted of women, youth, and men. They are more than we can tell. And that's why we are asking for an independent investigative mission by the world's human rights architecture.
Olive Burrows, Citizen TV.